In this video, I'm going to show you in 3 simple steps how you can become a Western hypocrite or how you can find out that you're already a Western hypocrite. So keep in touch, check out on each of the 3 steps and find out if you're a hypocrite or not. Step number 1 is you have to be a citizen of and have grown up in a Western country. So that could be the US, that could be most of Europe, that could be Canada, Australia, New Zealand, the UK, Ireland, Switzerland, whatever, like the typical first world developed countries. You have to have been a citizen of those countries ever since you were born or ever since a very early age, and have mostly lived your first like 15, 20, 25 years of your life in those countries. If you've done this, then congratulations, you've qualified for step 1. Step number 2 is you take all the privilege, all the income, all the benefits from being a citizen of those countries, and you take that and you move it abroad, probably to a third world country. So for example, you move abroad, but with a remote income, or with working remotely, or with savings that you had from a job that paid you in US dollars, in Australian dollars, in euros, that is strong currencies, in minimum wages that were fairly high. Or you get, I don't know, inheritance or something. You take the passport, for example, so you travel with that travel document, be it a European country, American, Canadian passport, whatever, any of those top tier countries. You take that income, you take that remote work, you take that passport, you take that education, where you're going to speak English either natively if you're Australian, American, etc., or probably to a high level if you're European, because you had a decent education through schooling and through all that. And you take all of that privilege and you move on to a third world country. So maybe you're doing 90 days in each country, maybe you get a temporary visa, digital nomad, something like that. It could be in Latin America, it could be in Southeast Asia, it could be really, it doesn't matter. Second step is to get all of the perks of the country you were from, and move away and move to a third world country for the obvious reasons, right? For cost of living, for the vibes, etc. And then the third step is obviously the most important step, because if you do just step 1 and step 2, I have absolutely no problem with you. Like, if you want to be a passport pro, if you want to be a digital nomad, if you want, like, it's great, you know, you were born lucky in a way, you were born in a developed country, you want to take the best bang for your buck there, and absolutely, you shouldn't stay in France, you shouldn't stay in Italy paying like 50% of your salary, you shouldn't be in America having to pay a fortune for healthcare. I understand all that, and if you can move abroad and your income, your job, or your retirement or whatever comes with you, then totally, like, profit from it. I totally get it. I would do the same if I were you. So if you do just step 1 and step 2, you're not a hypocrite at all. But if you do step 3, then you are a hypocrite. And step 3 is talking shit about your country and wishing or pretending to wish that you're not a citizen of that country. So an example of that is, you're American, you move to the Philippines or something like that, or Vietnam or whatever, and you start talking shit about America. And you're like, oh, I hate America, why was I born there, I wish I was born here, or whatever. And you don't realize that you're using an American passport, that your income comes probably from the United States, that all your business clients or your friends or everything, your connections are all in America, and that's what's actually allowing you to live such a lavish lifestyle in those countries, that your savings, that your inheritance, that the language you're speaking and communicating with everyone, you're only able to do that because you're American and because you grew up there, and you're forgetting all that and you're pretending that you would be better off if you were born in Vietnam, if you were born in the Philippines, if you had that citizenship instead of American citizenship, which is like such an absurd way to think about things that, like, I can't even imagine. So again, whatever your nationality is, if you've done those 3 steps, you came from a developed world, you used your good passport, your good income, your good inheritance, whatever it is that you got, your remote work, and you moved to a third world country, and you're now profiting from lower cost of living, lower prices, a more chill lifestyle, so to say, and you're talking shit about being a citizen of the country you're from. Honestly, shut up. You have no idea how lucky you are. And to pretend and to actually think is even worse, but to pretend or to think that being a citizen of the country you're living in now instead of the country you were born and grew up in is better is absurd. Because if you were a citizen of this country you're living in now, be it Vietnam or Cambodia or Thailand or whatever, you would not be in the position that you are right now. You wouldn't be earning US dollars. You wouldn't be being a remote worker, and you wouldn't be a digital nomad. You would be the housemaid that cleaned your hostel bed last night that you didn't even see, that's making like 50 cents an hour. That's who you would be. You wouldn't be who you are right now. You wouldn't be a Vietnamese person just having the American lifestyle that Americans have in Vietnam. No, you'd be like just an average dude in Vietnam that's really, really struggling with low wages, where everything isn't cheap for you because you're so poor that even very low prices are actually expensive for you, despite being low in an international environment, in an international comparison. And you won't have access to good healthcare, because even if it's a tenth of the cost, you also earn a tenth of what other people earn, what Americans earn. And so the food isn't actually going to be cheap, the healthcare isn't actually going to be cheap, and you're even going to have to hear those privileged Americans and Canadians and Europeans coming to your country, making everything more expensive, and then saying, damn, I wish I was born here. No, you don't. Or you don't have any idea about what you're talking about. So be a passport pro, be a remote worker, travel around, that's totally fine, but don't be a Western hypocrite. Don't pretend that you were not very, very lucky to be born in the country you're in. Don't pretend that if you were born in the country you're currently living, be it Southeast Asia, be it Latin America, you would be able to do the same things you're able to do now. You would not. You're still very lucky. You still have a fucking great passport. You still have a fucking desirable visa policy for you, which I'll tell you, other people who are from like third world, lower countries, lower level countries, so to say, they would give a liver to have that travel privilege. So much so that they do, like they pay $100,000, $200,000 to be a citizen of a random Caribbean islands just so they don't need a visa to go to Europe or to the UK or whatever. And you guys don't even think about it. And then you start talking shit about being a citizen of your country. Do not do that. You're lucky, okay? Don't be a hypocrite. See you.